taking a pressure washer to it, getting some of the stuffage growing out off of it. Make a big difference. Pressure washer here, powered by that Blue Eddy power unit there, which is charging with the solar panels over there. Little solar power station. That thing's been great. We use it to run our air compressor and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see. Let's go. With a propped up engine door. This is kind of fun. Okay, it cleaned up really good. That's just a real quick once over with a pressure washer. I'll get it again in a few days. It'll be even better. But now all the green stuff's off of it and the red mold or whatever it was. There's green and red stuff growing on it. But it is much nicer looking. Okay, so this is the 4104 that we got for our daughter and her husband. Got some cleaning to do on the inside. Haven't gone through the bays on it yet. The electrical panel cover is missing there. I assume it's probably here with the bus somewhere, but Not positive of that. I'll look around for it. Got a bunch of gauges and stuff to do, but it's all very original driver setup on here, and it'll remain that way. We get a destination sign made for it up there. As you can see, the interior is all gutted, mostly gutted. Somebody put some flooring down. It's got the really nice peninsula windows in it. So these are the nice sliders. They're tinted. They got screens. They're very nice. Even this little one over here opens. All the other glass, those D windows there are new rubber. The back window in this is actually in really good shape. It's not all broken, which most of them are. A little bit of water damage in here. But honestly, I think we can just get it all cleaned up pretty good. And we'll see from there. If we get the outside resealed on it, I don't think we'll have an issue there. It's got brand new kingpins. They're down here in the box, ready to go in. It needs them. The steering is wonky, but he said it was really bad. It was just bad. It wasn't horrible. Yeah, all new glass there. Even the driver's door opens and has a screen. The suspension on this, I don't know how long it stays up for, but we had it the first time we aired it up and moved it, it was 2 days, and it stayed aired up the whole time, both sides, front, left, right, and the front, so all three. I cleaned it up a little today. I haven't pressure washed the front yet. This mirror is coming off. I need to get that fixed on there. The body panel for that door is missing. I don't think that's in there. There's one back by the radiator that is in the bus. You can actually see the Greyhound dog on the side there. You can see most of it there. And then you can see where it used to say, I'm assuming it's Greyhound lines. Yeah, I see R-E-Y and then H-O-U-N-D and then, yep, lines in the back. I can see it. I don't know if it's going to come out on the camera or not. You see the L and then the I. It cleaned up really good. So yeah, that panel is inside the bus. It's pretty beat up though. We have to prop open the engine door on it. One of the problems, it's down on power. I'm sure this doesn't help. These are pretty smashed. Not a lot of, it's definitely restricted. So I'm gonna open those up. Things that I know that we're gonna work on, we're gonna do. The bay door rubber all needs to be replaced. If I even try to open these doors, I've not opened them, but if I do, they're gonna fall off. There is no chance that rubber is gonna hold. It's dry rotted, cracked, and broken most of the way already. So I gotta get all new bay rubber, and I'll get that all that stuff from Luke at US Coach in New Jersey. The airbags hold air, but I'm still gonna replace them because they are old. Brake diaphragms, brake hoses, all the rubber stuff basically. Radius rod bushings. And then I'm gonna go through each of the hubs on it, repack the bearings and service them. These are grease on the fronts. They definitely need to be redone. The back ones are probably grease as well with a block off plate, but who knows? But all that stuff, just general maintenance. Go through the brakes. The brakes seemed real good, but again, I'm gonna replace the hoses and the diaphragms. That air tank that blew out, that needs to be replaced. There's some other kind of an air leak going on back here inside the wheel well. Not really sure what it is. We'll figure that out. It's missing a couple axle bolts, nuts on this side and one on the other side. Tires are good to go for a while. Engine wise, he said it has a loose flywheel, so I'm going to investigate that. It appears that the transmission, I can't do this with one hand. There we go. Had recently had some work done on it, probably because all the hardware that mounted on there is new and not dirty compared to everything else. We're going to replace the fuel filters and everything now too. We drove it home with the filters that were in it. I was just waiting for them to kind of plug up, and I'm sure they are a little bit, but I didn't want to dirty up new filters. So give me a second here and I'll open up this engine door. Okay, got the engine door propped up with a broom. I'm going to replace some hoses on here, like this coolant the cooling hose here, that's all coming apart. It's steel braided and it's all messed up. It's rusted, and so that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go through anything that looks like it needs to be replaced. Get a newer version of it on there. So we'll check that flywheel and see if it is actually loose. We'll move it with a pry bar left and right and watch the other end of the crankshaft. If the flywheel moves but the crankshaft doesn't, then yeah, the flywheel's definitely loose. And we'll check it in multiple positions. There's a shimmy in the front end, so probably, you know, once I get the kingpins, then I'll figure out what needs to be done from there, and I'll inspect the tie rods real good. There's no radiator shroud. I need to find that or get one made so that the fan can actually suck air through the radiator. The gauges and stuff, that electrical stuff needs to get worked on. The turn signals were not working. Brake lights were intermittent, one of them, so I'm going to check all the wiring on that. You know, I mean, the goal is to make it safe and not as likely to break down. So obviously it did real good on its trip here. I couldn't monitor the temperature gauge, but Tyler was behind me watching for coolant coming out of it. And I, you know, on the hilly roads, I know how to drive it. So I backed off going up big hills and tried not to push it too hard, but mostly because that shroud was missing. I knew that was going to be a concern. It's amazing how much, without that shroud on there, that fan can just grab air from everywhere and it just kind of disrupts it instead of sucking it through. But, and one thing on a 4104, you always want to check this fan, make sure it doesn't get a wobble to it, because that's a rubber bushing that holds it on. And when that rubber goes bad, then it breaks apart and the fan goes through the radiator, and then you got to buy another radiator. Radiator looks to be in good shape. The cooling system's in good shape. When we got there, all the fluids were full. Power steering was full. Transmission was full. Engine needed a little bit, but there was no puddle of oil. Can't really tell where I'm at here, but no drips or anything. It didn't leak. There was just a few little flicks of oil on the back of the bus. It didn't use any oil on the way here. It was only 40 miles, but that's a good sign. Doesn't smoke. I'm going to pull the valve cover, get in there and check out the injectors, see what injectors are in it. That may be some of the low power issue. It might have really small injectors in it. You know, I've seen them with like, 55s or something like that. So we'll see. I don't even know if it's a 4-valve or a 2-valve head. I hadn't pulled any of that apart yet. So, yeah, just lots of little things here and there. I mean, it's going to keep us busy. We're going to create a lot of videos on it. That's for sure. I want to get it, like I said, mechanically sound, and then I'll give it to them, and then they can do the interior build the way that they want. But I want them to have a good running, driving, reliable vehicle, to be able to do that stuff with. So, but again, exterior wise, hey, I mean, it's got a few little dings and dents, and I mean, it's a 1957 pd4104. I believe the serial number was 2595. Came out of Minneapolis, I believe is where it was at. On the Bus Grease Monkey website forum, we have the GM Parlor Coach delivery list is actually on there. But yeah, 2595 is the serial number. Oh, the dashboard looks nice. I mean, it just needs a lot of cleaning, and then some maintenance, and hopefully not too many parts. You know, the hoses and all the rubber stuff that goes bad. That always needs to be done. I have no idea if the rooftop air conditioners work or any of that. That'll be up to them on the conversion. It's missing the marker lights on the front and the rears. Those aren't originals up there. The bullet lights are there. One of those glasses looks like it's broken. I don't know if the bullet lights, I think the bullet lights are in the back too, but the corner markers are missing. It'd be nice to find the original ones. Yeah, so those are still up there. It'd be nice to find those and get them replaced with the originals, but they're not going to be super concerned about aesthetics. We get the rims painted up on here, and I mean, it already looks 10 times better than what it did. It had shit growing all over it, as you saw. I don't think there's going to be anything too difficult in it. Like I said, the engine does not smoke at all. There is a growl from the rear end. I have to look at that. We did check the differential fluid. It was completely full, perfect when we checked it. Like I said, we checked everything. The only thing that was low was the radiator fluid, the coolant on it, and we just added water to it. There is a green tint to it, so there was some in there, but we added it with a hose. So I'm going to drain that out of there and we'll get it changed. But when I go to do that, I'm going to replace all the radiator hoses. They don't look too bad that are on there, but we know that this thing hasn't been on the road legally for 21 years. I don't think it's actually been driven in... the one guy bought it, and it looks like it sat for a long time, and then another guy bought it, and it sat for a long time. So I'm pretty sure it was like 11 years sitting out in the field where we got it. But it's a great bus. It was $1,500, just to give you a ballpark idea of, you know, you can find stuff out there for a good value. You just had to look past all the, you know, the big nasty tires that were on it and the moss and mold growing all over it and everything. You know, just get up under there and look at, see what you got. And then the fact that the engine ran and drove, that's a great price. So super thankful that we got it, and they're going to turn it in hopefully to something really, really nice. And it'll be fun to have you along on the journey with us.
His tools, check the air and all those duels. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Well, he's got a long hard ride in old Lenny the Silver Sides. Get that bus grease monkey on the road. Well, he's got that hammer down and that 47 Hound. It's that bus grease monkey on the road. He travels all around and he's coming to your town. Get that bus grease monkey down the road. See that 4104 with the propped up engine door. Watch that bus grease monkey do his thing. 30 years behind that barn, 'cause it don't run worth a darn. Watch that bus grease monkey make it sing. He knows them Detroits, there's no doubt, upside down and inside out. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in that old blue Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Now he's moved his family to the hills of Tennessee. Watch that bus grease monkey make his home, bringing buses back to life with the help of his dear wife. Watch that bus grease monkey get it done. Well, he travels town to town working on them old greyhounds. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in old Lenny the Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know?